fearing for our lives and living in hiding. That's how one mother has described the impact of gang violence on her family. Despite asking for help from multiple organisations, she says she's completely alone. Tonight, we're looking at the impact of gang violence, hearing from those who have to deal with the repercussions of having a loved one targeted by a gang, and those trying to stop young teenagers being killed on our streets. Frankie McCamley has this special report.
He can't walk down the street in fear of his life. If somebody was to see him, they will stab him. They will kill him. His life is in danger.
This mother, whose identity we have to protect, is trying to speak out before it's too late for her son.
We always hear of the tragic situation. We never know what were the events leading up to that. And I feel that's really important. If there's going to be any kind of change, something needs to happen before it gets to that stage. I don't want to be that mum where it's too late.
She's seen so many other mothers in her position bury their children, lost to gang violence before their lives have even begun. She's asked multiple agencies and authorities for help.
But actually, what happened was I ended up being on the child protection plan. They said I wasn't capable or fit to look after my children, so I didn't actually get any help.
She says her son has had a target on his back after the council moved her family from one borough to another, crossing postcodes. For years, those involved in gangs risk being attacked for straying into the wrong area. Dubbed postcode or turf wars, the phrase has been linked to many stabbings in the capital, turning parts of London into no-go zones for some. Public transport is also too dangerous for the young man.
He doesn't feel safe. He's been attacked on the bus, so he hasn't been on the bus since he's been 15. He doesn't feel that safe on the train because things have happened on trains.
She says he was also targeted by a honey trap.
A female friend invited my son round and trapped him. He had a gang of people torture him for the duration of the whole night.
How is he physically now?
Since the honey trap, the light that he used to have in him, because he's a lovely boy, totally gone. These are the things that you go through, but you go through alone because no one don't care unless something happens. And then it's just a tragic incident, isn't it?
The family live in hiding and fear help won't come until it's too late. But for some, it is too late. I've spoken to so many parents who've lost their children at the hands of a knife. Many knew their sons and daughters were vulnerable, but the problem is they don't know where to turn to ask for help. And for those who do, they tell me the help simply isn't there. Mark has been supporting mothers trapped in this cycle. He's also trying to get to the root cause of the ongoing violence in the capital by talking to older gang members in the hope of saving younger lives.
Our aim is to get the older generation of these guys around the table to discuss ways forward for each individual gang. It starts with reality, bringing reality home that children are dying. If survival's your game, don't let killing be your legacy. You have to actually know that you're here to survive, and survive can't be death. Death is destruction.
He's calling for a change from the top.
If you can find billions to go and fight someone else's war, look at the problems that's in your own country and do something about it. It's just as simple as changing the policies and bringing people up to a stage where they will not starve and they have light in their house. Nobody's going to watch their family die or starve to death in reality in England. They're going to find another way, and that's what we're seeing right now.
While the Mayor's office says nothing is more important than keeping Londoners safe, and it's committed to doing all it can to help reduce crime and violence in our city, some mothers still say they fear the worst each time their children leave the house.
Well, Frankie is here with me now. Such powerful testimony from that mother. Where can parents go if they fear that their child is being targeted by a gang?
It is really powerful, isn't it? Well, there are a number of things that they can do. Schools are a good place to start. Talk to teachers. They may know who the child is associating themselves with, what's going on there. Schools can also contact social services. Parents can go directly to social services too. Now, if there's a concern that there's some kind of illegal activity taking place, for example, a child carrying a concealed weapon, then it may be a matter for the police. But we do know parents can be apprehensive when going to the authorities. So there are a number of charities or groups in the area, just like Mark that was in that report, that people can turn to. So some groups have confidential phone lines you can call, or others may know what's going on in the area. These anti-knife crime groups may know. So contact those. But these groups don't have enough funding to help everyone, and that's one of the problems. It can be so difficult to find that help.
Absolutely. Well, there's some important advice there. Frankie, thank you very much.